Hello, hi, and welcome to Cinema Express. Today we have with us the multi-talented Raj B Shetty, who's playing an important role in the upcoming multilingual Charlie 777. Hello, sir.
Hi, sir.
Your film Ondu Mottai Kathe was one of the first films to have triggered the so-called Kannada new gen wave. So, how do you see the evolution of Kannada cinema over the years?
I think before me also, I cannot claim that I started it. Because as far I remember, Pavan Kumar started with Lucia and Rakshit started with Ulidavaru Kandante. And because they had started it and there was very good support for new generation cinemas. So that is where we could encash. So whatever groundwork they had done, whatever foundation they had built, it made it easier for us to construct our cinema, that's all.
Coming to Charlie 777, the previous film Garuda Gamana Vrishabha Vahana had you like playing a menacing character.
Correct.
You're now playing a very light-hearted role in this film. So is there a conscious attempt to do such
You never plan your lineups because Garuda Gamana was shot after Charlie. So Charlie took 5 years to complete. Garuda Gamana was done in 2 years. So the lineup is not at all planned. But whenever you choose a character, the reason you choose is to explore something you haven't done. So I don't want to encash on something which I have already done and which is easy pick for me or for the audience. I want to explore till I fail. So if I fail, I might learn from that. So if I succeed, I might leave that and pick something else where I can explore new things. So in that sense, 777 Charlie's role was very new to me because it's a role which is a little larger than life. I normally play very subtle characters. This character is a little, gives a comic relief in the film. So I wanted to try it and I was a little reluctant because I was not sure whether I can play this role.
pull it off?
But the director of this film, Raj, always could see me in this role because it's a veterinary doctor. And for him, it can only be justified by a person who loves pets. So I have at least 8 dogs in Mangalore in my home and office. I always was with dogs. So he thought I could do that role and it might justify the film. So, and it's a fantastic project. It's a well thought and well executed project. So I'm lucky to be a part of it.
So like you said, it took like 5 years to make this film. So when did you actually become a part of it?
I was a part of this film even before I could know that I was acting in this as an actor. So when Kiran Raj narrated the first draft, so he wanted somebody who can help him with the dialogues. So that is where I am a writer too. That is where I am, where I could work in this project as a writer, where I sat with him for a few days and completed whatever he has already written. And even after that, he started continuing the dialogue writing process till it was, best in his version. So in the initial draft, I had worked. So from that day to this day, I'm with Charlie.
But during the initial draft writing session, you didn't know that you would be playing this role.
I didn't know that I would be playing this role. So I wrote that dialogues of those characters because he wanted it to be in Mangalore language, dialect. So I am from that place, and so I could easily write that. So and then after completion and everything, he thought okay, you should play the role. I'm like, brother, because acting is something I rarely get associated with easily. I really love acting, but the thing is, I think I like writing and direction a little more.
Okay, you are a filmmaker, writer, and Rakshit is also a filmmaker. How did you brainstorm ideas for this film?
I think I didn't brainstorm. Whenever you need to be very specific about the job roles that you have in every project. So whatever you want, whatever the cinema wants, you should give. Whatever the cinema is in not need of, so you should avoid. In the sense, Kiran Raj is a good director. He has a good head on his shoulder. So he can write well, he can dream well, and he can execute better than me at least. Because I wouldn't have spend time with a movie for 5 years because I'm not that kind of a filmmaker. So my films are more personal and but with Kiran Raj, he took one dream and executed it to the next level. So when you find such technicians, all you need to do is whatever they ask you to do, you need to provide. Whatever they don't ask, you shouldn't provide. That's very against the nature of the film. So in that sense, I only did what Kiran Raj had asked me to. So other than that, Kiran Raj is a good director. So it's not about my brainstorm. So whatever he wanted, he asked, and I helped in providing that.
Great. So Rakshit and you have been like associated for long. So in a recent interview, Rakshit had said that we can't make films like this. Me or Raj B Shetty can't make films like. Why is it that?
In the sense that like.
Is it the patience thing?
It's patience.
Okay.
It's patience. And Kiran Raj is a perfectionist.
Okay.
So he wants everything to be in his way. So maybe me and Rakshit are not those kind of filmmakers where we want it to be in our way. We'll be looking for a way.
Okay.
So both the ways are right, both the ways are wrong. So with Kiran Raj had a very clean idea how the movie should come out.
Okay.
So he was trying to execute that, whatever the cost may be.
Okay.
So in that sense, that is where Rakshit said me and Raj wouldn't have been able to make this movie.
Okay.
Because for 5 years to survive with one project is not easy.
Okay.
Because you grow and the film grows with you. And when the film grows with you, you need to push it that harder. So Kiran Raj has done fantastically well. In that sense, yes, we wouldn't have been able to make this movie at all.
Okay. You said you aren't very keen to act, like how was it to say it is easier to perform when you are with actors? Like how was it to perform with a dog, sharing screen with a dog?
I had only 2 scenes with the dog.
Okay.
And it's always hard. The thing is, they don't know that they are performing.
Yeah.
Animals or kids, they don't know that they are performing. You need to intelligently handle their mood and to get the best of the cinema.
Okay.
And it shouldn't be an exploitation of the animal or kids. So we had to plan in a way where high energetic shots were taken when she was in high mood. Like example, morning session or the evening session. Afternoon where she was drowsy or lazy, wants to sleep. We had to plan shots where she was actually sleeping, where actually she was little low or little sick or emotional, those kind of shots. So everything had to be planned around her because she is the biggest aspect of this movie.
Yeah.
If she convinces people that she's emoting well, then the film wins.
Yeah.
So that was the hardest part of this film. Okay. And for me, it was not a biggest problem because I had to act only in 2 scenes.
Okay.
With Rakshit and all, he had to give 60 takes, 50 takes, 70 takes and all, because the dog was not performing or was not in the mood, or however the Kiran Raj wanted, the dog was not coming, walking or sitting or something. So, but actor had to perform in every single take because, so you never know which take will be used and where the dogs perform.
And you said you're a dog person. So Garuda Gamana also had a dog connected.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you bring in that element because you love dogs or?
So even the theme of the film was derived from a dog.
Okay.
So I was sitting in a beach and I was writing something.
Garuda Gamana.
Garuda Gamana had many aspects, but one aspect of betrayal was because of a dog.
Oh.
So I was sitting in a beach and writing, and there was one stray dog which was very close to me.
Okay.
And with that, another 2 dogs came and they were very close to me. And there was one sweet dog which was very, very sweet, and it was a very puppy thing when it got contacted us. And then she started growing and we started enjoying, and she started to bark at everybody who approaches me, who comes near me.
Okay.
We used to enjoy it because it was a puppy.
Okay.
And later when she grew, so when she started shouting, the other dogs joined and nobody could approach me at all. So I was like, that question haunted me. I'm like, what should we do? And we didn't have an answer. So, and we were should we avoid her? Because she is doing it in love with, because of her love towards us.
Towards you. Yeah.
But because of that love, she's creating problem.
Yeah.
So that was such a, those days, the whole thing started as a big question in me. Like how we see love as a beneficiary thing. Only when it benefits, we want to enjoy it. When it becomes a little torture, we want to discard it. I think that idea when I saw myself, so that idea got explored.
That is how you developed the Shiva Hari.
Yeah, the betrayal theme developed from there, I think.
Okay. Great. Very insightful. So I'm assuming 777 Charlie to be a feel-good film. So is it the Pursuit of Happiness kind of feel-good or a Hachiko kind of feel-good?
I don't know. The reason is it's a feel-good movie, but it has a lot of emotional journey. And I am very against comparing any two films.
Yeah, okay.
Because every single cinema has the voice of the director, and because it comes from one single person, so the whole story, or the whole vision changes. In that sense, Charlie is a very original cinema. So I cannot compare it with any film, but one thing I can tell is it's a very emotional cinema where it makes you question the way you see life and the way you see animals or the way you see love in general. That much I can tell.
Okay. And you seem to be very passionate in telling rooted stories. Wish to continue telling such stories, or do you wish to expand and do something like pan-Indian projects?
The thing with me is I can do cinemas which actually inspires me or ask me a lot of questions where I cannot find an answer for my real life problems. I always go to art or cinema and explore it through other characters and try to find answers. In that sense, cinema is an extension of life for me.
Okay.
It is not away from my life. It is a part of my life, or it can be extension of my life. So whatever my life experiences, that might come in cinema. Whatever my life doesn't have experience towards, I may not do that. The reason being, I might be very less authentic towards it.
Okay.
So in that sense, I don't know whether I'll do a pan-Indian cinema or not. And I'm not keen on it, because for me, cinema is about how I feel about it. And how much money does it make is something I don't count when I direct it. The only thing I count is my producer should win and my cinema should satisfy me as an audience. So if that is the case, I think I'll do any cinema, small cinema, big cinema, it doesn't matter. But it will be rooted because it should be extension of my life. So I see stories in my life. I see stories when I talk to you. I see you as a character. I see you as a human being. So something might strike and something I might write. And this is a part of my life. That is the reason I do films about this.
You look for stories around you.
I don't look for stories. I just live. So when you live, something happens to you. Some questions comes to you. Something strikes you. Something inspires you. Something makes you sad. Because of this, some stories form. You are not looking for the story. That is not what I'm doing, at least.
So, and it's not always necessary that whatever you do has to succeed. So how do you deal with success and failures?
I have done only 2 films as director, and both were successful. I think you shouldn't have a comparison towards other films. When you do Garuda Gamana, somebody might come to you and like, if you do in this language, this might have succeeded. It would have been bigger success. If you would have casted this actor, it would have been bigger success. It is not about making it a bigger success. The biggest successful thing about a cinema is whatever you wanted to tell, did you tell or not? So if you didn't tell, for example, I wanted to tell something very strongly, which I had so much love towards, but I casted some stars or some actors which I didn't believe in, and then the film was a successful film, but the voice didn't come out. Is it a successful movie? If you compare it economically, it is a successful movie. But if you compare the quality of art, it is a failure. Because whatever I wanted to convey, it didn't get conveyed at all. So the success of the movie always lies in what the director wanted to tell, whether it's conveyed or not. If that is a successful thing from the director, I don't think the rest of the success matters. Yes, it matters. So what we do as cinema makers is we take smaller risks. So I don't do a movie for 10 or 15 crores. So I make a film in like lesser budget and try to explore so many things. And in that sense, like I can make my producers gain at least what they have invested. And if it is a successful film, they'll invest much more than that. With that, I too can explore a lot of themes. That is where I'm looking for. I'm not trying to cast another big star and make another big movie. I'm not in that zone right now.
And what are you working next?
I have an idea which is a little older. So I am not at all happy with it. So I wanted to scrap everything and start rewriting. But the biggest asset of writer is, he can always tell I'm waiting for inspiration. When actually he's plain lazy. So I'm in that zone. I'm lazy and I'm roaming around, I'm chilling. But I want to get the detoxification from Garuda Gamana, because always success is a toxic. So you get so many comments, so many reviews, so many
adulation.
Yeah. But that might guide you the way you think in the future.
Okay.
Never should your past work should guide the way you think in the future.
Okay.
Then the whole thing is corrupted.
Okay.
So whatever that inspires you right now, if it can have an expression in the future, that is much more original and new, fresh, because it has just arisen. So in that sense, I'm just waiting for that whole thing to flush out.
Okay.
So the moment it does, I need to hold a pen and take a paper and start writing.
Okay. Wishing you all the very best.
Thank you
sir.
so
It
much.
was a great
Thank you,
conversation.
Vignesh.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.